People, let's go to this question on Hamza Ali Abbasi leaving the showbiz industry. What are our thoughts on that? Now, all right. What's life without a drink? Huh? A drink? I just said drink. I left it mutlaq. See, that's in the usuli term, the word mutlaq, when something is just left. What's life without a drink? I didn't say what kind of drink. Aha, aha. And then you have the terminology al-muta'araf, which is that sometimes something إذا أطلق يرجع إلى المتعارف. If you let it go, it's understood as it is in custom and convention. So you might say, well, we understand it like that. But then you could argue, but are conventions all universal? You thought I was sleeping through my usul classes. Right. So, nevertheless, people. So, as you know, we're going to come to the poet later on today, the great poet Imra al-Qais. He said in his famous statement, he said, Al-yawm khamar wa ghadan amr. He said, today it's alcohol, tomorrow it'll be business. So, sobriety is overrated, you see. Right, so coming to this, Hamza Ali Abbasi, I'm actually very impressed with Hamza Ali Abbasi after I watched his dialogical debate stroke discussion with Haris Sultan. To be honest, I had no expectation that he was that intelligent, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I expected him to be intelligent like general actors, you know, like the way Shah Rukh Khan is. I expect him to be kind of like Shah Rukh Khan intelligent, you know, like a bit witty, got a few dialogues, you know, read a few philosophies here and there, and just, you know, a bit of wisdoms on life and that kind of intelligent. This guy is mind-blowing, this intelligent. I mean, he is genius level intelligent. I was wowed. I mean, he was talking about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, Einstein's relativity. He was speaking about genetics, DNA. He was speaking about, you know, the kind of theodicies, the cosmological arguments, the, you know, teleological arguments, the pros, the cons, the multiverse theory. This guy, I was wowed. Like, is that an actor? I mean, I just did not anticipate that level of academic profundity from an actor. I just did not anticipate that. And I was kind of wowed, like, whoa, this guy is next level genius. And I think he kind of came out, you know, on, if I can say, you know, on top in that discussion, really, with Haris Sultan, who's an ex-Muslim. So he's now, Hamza Ali Abbasi has now announced that, look, I'm going to give up showbiz. I'm divorcing the showbiz industry, not with any bad blood, but I want to devote more time to religion and religious discourse. So what are my thoughts on this? I think, first of all, I think that's awesome, because I think we need, in that part of the world, especially in Urdu, we need people with more courage to be able to voice things, because the divergence, the gap is getting, you know, it's just growing day by day between the middle classes and religion. And just people are becoming so disaffected by religion, and because it's only represented by the mullahs, you know, the mad mullahs. So people are starting to have a disdain and a hatred for it. So I really welcome this thought and these discussions. I hope, you know, they're going to be awesome, eye-opening. I would love, inshallah, I don't know if you'd ever accept I'm not a big fish on his kind of level, but I would love to have him on one of my podcasts as they as they start running. Inshallah, I think it would be epic. But nevertheless, I think even if that doesn't happen, I really do think it's an amazing thing that he'll be doing. The only concern I have, and I'm pretty hopeful he won't go down that road, is I hope he doesn't become like a full-on mullah. Because I think the problem with that is you're no longer the bridge. You've just become one of the sides. So it's a bit like Junaid Jamshed, who was an icon, and like I mean, people loved him. He was obviously a musician. He was a singer. He was very famous. Women idolized him. Men kind of deeply admired him. I mean, he was, I think, slightly. I mean, he was in my time, but as in him being an icon, I was probably a kid or just kind of growing up. So I heard of him much later on. But the point was that when he became religious, there was a great sense of hope that he could have bridged a gap. But really what happened is he just ended up becoming too, if I can use that word, too religious, as in nutcase religious. And he just became a weird kind of, he wasn't an extremist, but he became kind of like a mad mullah himself in a way, like this is haram, that's haram, women can't do this, women can't drive, women can't do this, they can't. And you think, well, you could have done so much more for people if you just kept it kind of cool. Obviously, his choice, his life. I mean, he has passed away and died in a tragic accident. May Allah, grant him a blissful afterlife. I mean, but the point is that I'm hopeful, and I hope that Hamza Ali Abbasi doesn't go down that route, because that'd just be a waste. But that was my thoughts on that. Somebody had